Hey guys, welcome back to Techogram. Today we're gonna learn how to use the concept of array in Microsoft Visual Basic. So let's get started. In this example, we will learn how to use array, and we will take an example of an array. We will enter some number and then we will print the even number in different text box and an odd number in different text box. So what you can do, first we have to take two text boxes. This is our first text box and this is our second text box, and we will provide a label for both of them. This is our even number text box and this will be our odd number text box. So write odd. Now what we will do is just clear this text. You can either write everything on the command click, or you can use the form load option. We will write in the click of a command. So in this we will write enter. So first you have to declare an array. So to declare array we will use dim. The name of the array will be a, and you can specify the size. Because the array will store number, we will type as integer. But to execute the for loop we need two more variables. First we need an I, then to store the number we will need an n, and declare this all as integer. Now in the command one.click, what you have to do, first we will take the input of the number of the total elements. So write input box, we will take the input in input box, enter total number of elements. Then we have to execute the for loop for the same number of time which we have entered here. As you know, the array index starts from 0, so you have to execute the loop n minus 1 time. So suppose if your n is 5, then we have to run it n minus 1, which is 4 times, because it will run from 0, then 1 2 3 4, so it will execute 5 times. So now we will write our for loop. For we will use I equals to 0 to, as I said, you have to use n minus 1, and then what you have to do, we will save this value which we will get. We will save this in a of I. And how we will save this, we will use again the input box. So write input box, enter elements. Now you can see this for loop will execute the number of n minus 1 times, and now we can close this. So to close the for loop, type next and the element which is increment, so I here. So these steps are basically for the entry of data elements into our array. Now we have to perform the calculation and divide the numbers into even and odd numbers. So we will use again the same for loop which we have used on the above. I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. We will check the condition. So to check the number is even or odd, the condition is if the data stored in a of I mod 2 equals to 0, then so if this condition is true, means a of I mod 2 is equal to 10. If the remainder of this calculation is 0, then it means it's an even number. So if it's an even number, we have to save this in our first text box, because this is our even text box, this is our odd. So you can see it is the text one. So if the condition is true, we will enter the data in text one dot text. And what is the data? First you have to add the element of array, and then we have to enter a new line, and then we have to enter the elements which are already in the text box. So for the first time there will be no element, so it will just add a blank space. Then for the second time it will add the second element plus the first element. Then on the third time it will add the third element, then second, then first. So we will write text1.text, and else if the condition is false, then of course the number is odd. So we will write the same but for the second text box. So text2.text equals to a of I, the element, and new line, and text2.text. And now we have to close this if, because this is in our for loop, so it's the inner loop. So we will close this first, and if, and now we have to close the for loop. So to close the for loop we will use the next I. Now we will run the program, but you can see I have written new line here. You have to write VB new line here. Keep in mind, in most of the computer this VB line new command doesn't work, so you can either use a space. So you can use a space here, and we will do the same thing for the second one. And now we'll run the program. Click enter. Now enter element 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Now we can see all the even numbers are printed in this even text box and the odd number are printed in this odd text box. This is how you can use the concept of array for different function. We have just taken a simple example to understand the concept. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, press the like button. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. If you have any question, query, comment or any error, please leave that in the comment box. Subscribe for more. Bye.